The video that actually came up on my feed was how to fight every character 2.0. Is this part 1? I don't know if there is multiple parts, but I'll obviously just review this first part. I don't look at guides or anything on YouTube, and just because a lot of the time I look at them and it's like, I already know this, like, why am I watching this? And then I click off the video. That's usually what it is, but I'm like, okay, I'll try and sit through. This is a 40-minute video as well. This is a long video, so I will probably get started. I don't know how this is gonna be. I don't know what I'm putting myself through. I just realized the volume's probably gonna be too loud when I touch this thing. So okay, let's get started with this thing. Okay, I don't know how long each. Okay, so they're like about a minute and a half.
He doesn't really have any moves bigger than Bear, so you can always try to punish his approaches and landings from a distance with moves bigger than his aerials. Yeah. Be wary that Mario also loves grabs, as they can lead to big combos. But again, outranging him can still apply here. Be very.
Okay, this is one awesome misconception of. Oh yeah, you can outrange Mario. Like, he's doing it with Lucina, obviously, which is one of his worst matchups. But outranging Mario is really hard to do, especially with some characters. Basically, with Mario, a lot of times, like, if you outrange him, like, there's a lot of sword characters, but like, even a lot of the characters, like, what's a good example? Characters like, okay, Falcon's a bad example, but like characters like even Steve's still got a dish on, right? But his range actually isn't that big. So, like, Mario still gets in. And Mario's also got the mobility to get in regardless. Like, he can just be like, oh, you're going to try and warm me out. I'll go and overshoot. So I'm going to try and hit you where you're going to be rather than where you are. Because if I try and throw out an area where you are, I'm going to get out space. But if I try and overshoot where you probably are going to try and warm me out, then I'm gonna hit you.
The edge and he does down throw, he's usually gonna follow up with 2 up airs and a spike. This is a situation where DIing in is often best, since it can make his spike not send you off stage or force him to get the sour spot. Be careful recovering high, since Flood can kill you at 0 like this, so don't go messing around recovering above the stage or anything. Just try to snap the ledge. Also watch out for fares off stage, especially against lower level Marios who fish for them a lot.
Well, okay, he's correct in that point. Like, if you do see, it's basically the thing of if you see Mario just running off, like jumping in off stage in any regard with the four like facing you, there's only one thing they can do. Basically, they can forward air because it has more range. If they get a nair, they have to be right next to you. But with the forward airing, like if they're jumping off, just react. I know it's saying like, oh, you just react, but like, I don't know, I just don't see people like there's so many times where like I've thrown people off and be like, okay, I jump with them and I'm waiting for it. I'm like, well, I'm facing you. There's only one thing you're gonna be expecting in this situation, and they do a terrible air dodge, or they just don't do anything in general. They're like, I'm just like, okay, you could have just jumped out. Like, I would have had to read a jump or something like that.
Block from the first active frame.
Minus 19.
11 from the last active frame if he doesn't land. Most characters have a move that can punish something that's minus 11, especially since the move he's most.
Is it minus 19? Damn, I didn't think it was that. Okay, well, he showed me something.
DK's ledge options aren't that great either. Just remember to not hold shield by the ledge, since side B can not only break it and take your stock.
Yeah. Okay, I think that's the other misconception. When you're ledge trapping DK, good. Don't shield at ledge. That's like one big thing, obviously. But the other thing people don't realize is because he doesn't have a good forward-facing aerial, you don't like the only thing you're fearing off of ledge aggressively is get up attack. Everything else, like there's this other thing you can do. I don't know if I'm not very good at it when I play DK. Let me switch to DK. But there's this other thing that he can do. I'm very bad at doing it. Let's see if I can do it. Basically, there's a better way to do it, where you drop ledge, you turn around charge. Are you trying to neutral B answer? No. So there's basically a way where you charge punch, you basically turn around your charge off ledge, so you drop ledge, turn around punch charge, and you come up with a back air. So that's like the only other way where you can come off aggressively off the ledge. Drop off hopper. Nah, I can't do. Nah, stop it. Okay, well, I stopped it. I wasn't fast enough. Donkey Kong players, like good Donkey Kong players, can actually do it. But basically, it was like similar to that, but a lot faster, and they get onto stage. And that's the only other way they can like come off aggressively. Because like if they do this, or they do this, very reactable.
One particular gimmick out of grab to be aware of is cargo throwing you towards the stage, trying to stage spike. But this can be easily teched and.
Yeah, if you basically mash jump here, like just don't, not like up air or anything like that. You just mash jump, and basically the only Donkey Kong has to, and like this position has to double jump straight away out of cargo throw to make it back. So if you're mashing jump, like I know don't mash, but if you're mashing jump here, which is the right thing to do, he will almost always get footstool. Like every time I've teched this, and I don't tech jump it, I always footstool Donkey Kong. I'm not like every single time. I don't think I've ever not done it. Like they have to position themselves and like delay it basically, but even then like they had to, because even if they do jump up air, they kill themselves. But if you're versing a character that okay isn't a zoner, but isn't really like, you see it in the set as well, is not I can't say struggling, but is having a hard time or needs their kill setups to kill you, then you need to like Chaos is such a good stage, because one, a big thing about Donkey Kong obviously is like getting spiked out of his recovery, or like even just getting ledge guarded, right? The walls just help him, like being able to tech is like really good. And then also the fights, like these platforms here, just like it lets you push people off in the blast zone with cargo throw stuff a lot earlier. Or you go for the mix up and you can do the back cargo throw to kill them off the top. And the other thing also is, because Donkey Kong doesn't struggle to kill, you literally just like, you kill them basically the same percent regardless. Like they might lose, I don't know, 5% earlier, but it's like nothing. And stuff like the jump out. But there's also the thing here, because you've already shielded, if your character's decently fast, you can run under him and anti-air him.
Swatting it away, preferably with a move that doesn't put you in clank lag. One rule of thumb to follow is that it pretty much loses to most aerials. It also has 27 frames of startup, meaning you can definitely stuff it out if you read it and are close enough to him.
But it's like, yeah, if you are close enough to him, obviously, yes, you can hit it. But if you're that close and Link's trying to boomerang, I think it's the Link's player fault, right? Like, if he's that close that you can get dash attacks while trying to pull out boomerang, I think they're just playing flowchart, right? In that position, they're just gonna nair again. They're just gonna, or what they can do is just, I would say nair, but if they know they're gonna do that, like you're just gonna run in, they can down tilt, or they can up B. He didn't really show jump boomerang a lot. Like he does it, like I think did he do it here?
It has decent reach and can combo into fair.
Yeah.
A good way.
So like jump boomerang is a lot better than just grounded boomerang, because obviously you change your momentum. There's also the wave bounces that makes it even safer and stuff like that. So it's sometimes it's like it can be really hard to like pin him down, and because there's so much momentum when he gains when he like B versus wave bounces and all that type of stuff. Okay, this is the one thing I don't like about this video already. He's showing a lot of the characters that like do well against these characters. So basically showing it off like, if a matchup is already bad, and this is what you do if you're like, if you're already playing a -1 matchup for him. But if you're playing playing Samus, right, or if you're versing Samus, and say if you're like freaking, I don't know, like, let's say Link has to be running in on Samus, because he's, sometimes, his Link, I think, has to be running in a lot, or like, they're having to close space with each other a lot more, and yes, he has the sword, so it's a bit better of that, but he also isn't fast, and that's the problem, again, with Samus, you have to be able to close distance decently quick. Chrom is a really bad matchup for Samus from memory. Yeah, like, look, you have to be so quick to be able to dash out of Samus. There's so many times where I try and dash away, even as like Joker and stuff like that, and I still get grabbed, and I'm like, dude, I'm like trying to dash hella away. I'm trying to get the Great Wall of China, and you grab my foot when I'm basically already in Asia, when I was in Australia. So like, how are you grabbing me? There's so many instances. But like,
at high percents, charge shot is pretty scary.
Yeah,
but at low percents, it's honestly not that much of a threat. As long
okay.
as you stay at a range where Samus either can.
Okay, this is. I was gonna let him finish, but I think he's not gonna say it.
Can react to it. You should be fine and won't have to play super scared.
Okay. The one thing he's already missed is basically at low percent, charge shot gets you grabs, it gets you confirms, it gets you follow-ups, and that's like a big thing with her pressure, is that sometimes they just throw small charge shot, because the damage you get from small charge shot is like, it's only like 5 or 6 or whatever it is, but because of the hit stun that it has, you get grabs, you get dash attack, you get rising up air, and that chains into like 40%. It's insane. Like, and like, it's not the thing that you shouldn't be fearing. I was like, oh yeah, don't worry about it. It's like, it's still so much damage.
A good game plan against him would be to force him to approach with these moves, then stuff his approaches. While some of his moves do have good...
I think, well, he hasn't said it yet.
Doesn't have many disjointed hitbox.
Yes.
So both outranging and stuffing out his moves can be very effective. His approach...
Okay, so far so good.
One of the best ways to force an approach from Yoshi, as lame as it sounds, is to camp him. He doesn't do great against projectiles, as he has one of the lowest short hops in the game, meaning he has to full hop over Wolf's blaster, so this is a great way to get him angry and wanting to fight you up close. If he decides to camp you back with eggs, however, they're very easy to parry from a distance.
Yeah.
Up close, if you parry or often even just shield them, egg toss has a ton of lag, so you may honestly be able to just run up and...
Okay, so the one thing I've seen about egg is that he didn't talk about grounded egg, so like bouncing egg, and bouncing is actually really good at approaching with and to force approaches.
He's actually hot garbage when it comes to approaching himself. Camping this character is honestly broken, as he has limited range, a mediocre ground speed, and a bottom 5 airspeed.
Yeah, sad Kirby. I think everything he says here is gonna be very straightforward.
Characters should have little issue swatting him away like a slow.
Yeah. Like the one thing with Kirby is like if you focused on how your opponent is playing, it's so easy against Kirby. Oh, is he jumping at me? Oh, I just anti-air him. Oh, he's running at me? I just you just dash back and like out hit him, because the only thing he has out of burst is dash attack, and dash attack's like super, like the strong hits, like obviously strong, right? But like the south spot, like it's so reactable to see the south spot, then you're just like, okay, I can like move back, and because it has lag, it's this amount of lag, you hit him. It's very easy.
This is especially the case if you play one of these characters.
Okay. Also, he missed out Joker. Joker's another big character that's like very good. When Kirby inhales Joker, it's really, really good. Bayonetta's another character that's really good off inhale, and the other character I'm thinking of is what's good? Robin. Robin's the another one because of how a Thunder works, and because you're smaller than Robin. I think you low profile Thunder when you're doing your own Thunder and you hit Robin for it. It's so stupid.
Short hop, full hop, double jump, hitting your shield early or late, etc. One of the best things to do against this move is just stuff Fox's jump out before he can use it, since his mix-ups can be very hard to deal with. Either that or outspace it in with punish, which may be hard due to the move's relatively low lag, but it's not impossible. Punishing what he does after it can also be a good option, but don't feel pressured to always fight Fox's Nair. It's hard to deal with for a reason, and simply staying back and waiting for what happens next in neutral can sometimes be the better option.
Yeah, okay, so that's a good thing that he was like kind of talking about how to deal with Nair as well, which is really, really good. You needed, like, especially with such a big centralizing tool of, it's like a Fox's kit, right? Or like even when he was talking about Link Nair, which is really, really good. But the thing that I would say, which I was like thinking about, was people don't understand where like positioning is like such a big thing, where he's like, oh yeah, you can dash back, but sometimes you can dash forward. Dashing forward is also very underrated. So you're dashing under them, especially if you know they're gonna jump, right? You dash under them, and then now they've jumped into you, right? And say if you're in like where Crom is right now, which is the other side, if you've dashed under him and and he's jumped at you, you've basically just taken stage control off of him. That's basically what you've done. And now he's in a corner pressure situation, or at least he doesn't have as much stage as you, so you're technically in at least a slight advantage. And now, because he's falling down with an aerial now, you're like, okay, well, I can either, jump back air and hit him for doing his stupid aerial, or I can, or I can just be like, okay, what is he going to do after he lands? And then go from there, or go from the mix-up from there.
Searching how to beat Pikachu, I'm gonna be honest, not a lot of stuff came up. He's honestly amazing in every sense.
Fucking hate this character, man. I don't know how Clue finds this matchup as Marth. I fucking hate this character. It's probably not that bad as Marth. Playing this as Joker, I hate this so much.
His Grail moves, as it's unreactable and very strong. Yeah. It is punishable if you shield it, however, but you have to time your out of shield option a little bit late, as the move has a ton of shield stun. Just be aware that at around 150.
Yeah. Okay, with that, depending on the character, sometimes you can't even shield grab dash attack, so be very careful. I think obviously if you have like a tether grab-ish kind of thing, say like an Ivy grab or like a Olimar grab or something, I don't think you can actually grab it. It's pretty crap, but like Olimar can out smash it, so it's not too bad. But like, if you're Ivysaur, what do? You get dash attack and you can't do anything. You can nair. But I think Pikachu pancakes when he does dash attack, so yeah. Seeing Pika's up air train across the stage is impressive, to be honest. The up air bridges are hard. I know I've talked to Shmoo about this because it's undiable. It's because it doesn't send you into tumble. If people don't know this, if you don't get sent into tumble, you can't DI a move. And because Pika's up air doesn't send you into tumble, you can't like DI. You can SDI it because obviously there's multiple hits and you're getting hit by multiple up airs. So you can I think it's SDI up, so he won't eventually reach you the last bit. But apart from that, it's very difficult.
Fairs to catch you jumping over those fireballs, or grabs to catch you shielding them. So try to play around his projectiles differently each time. You're also probably going to
hey, just like Pikachu.
Possible. Probably.
Okay, with Luigi, I would just say camp him. Just camp him. I would honestly avoid FD and FD like the plague against Luigi, unless you're Sam, like a projectile character. Apart from that, just camp him.
Combos into lots of stuff across pretty much all percents, and can even start a kill combo as early as 0. For this reason, it's a very good idea to camp platforms against Luigi.
Yeah,
at
okay,
least
cool.
Around 0 to 15% when you can get death comboed. However, make sure to not overcommit to your juggle or combo, since down B has frame 1 invincibility and it kills.
Yeah.
If you read it though, you can get a huge punish, and keep in mind that it's a very popular escape option among Luigis. So be on the lookout for it during your combos that aren't 100% true. Watch out for Luigi's down.
That's the thing, when I verse Luigi, a lot of the time, I usually don't go for big extensions. I think the safest thing when you verse Luigi is you know what's true, right, against Luigi. You know what's true, you go for that. And then you position yourself for, even if he doesn't do it, you're still threatening him in some way. Because you're positioning yourself in a way where you know that he's going to Cyclone, right? So like, okay, I'm just going to space away. But then they're like, oh crap, he's trying to position to threaten or like to bait out a tornado. I'm not going to tornado. But since you're still close enough to get to threaten any like an option, then you're just like, okay, even if he doesn't do it, I can still whack him. Even if he does, then I can just wait for it. That type of thing. So, like, I don't know. Luigi is annoying, but like, you know,
this character loves to spam.
I don't know if he's a great character. I think Luigi's like mid tier. I don't think it's high tier.
Isn't you anymore against him? Ness.
I hate his up B. But yeah, he didn't talk about Zair. Like, I thought he actually would. Zair is very good. It's probably his best approach, honestly, apart from Fireball. That's like the only thing. And he can combo from it and stuff like that. And the one thing he didn't really talk about as well is that I see a lot of Luigi players kind of optimize their throws. But basically, like the attack cancel up airs, which reverse up airs, that basically will, off the throw, you can go like up air, back air and stuff like that. And it kills like a dummy percent.
Attacks at kill percent, mainly back throw, dash attack, and like all of his areas.
Oh, okay,
Finally,
dash
Yo-Yo
attack
is one of his scariest edge guarding options, so try to recover around it if you can.
Every friggin' time. Don't fall into the trap of doing neutral. Like, you can, if you buffer something off the ledge and he's doing like get up, like Yo-Yo, you know, unlucky, but like, yeah, just get up attack. He didn't really talk about Ness shield pressure, and I think that's like a big thing that like people forget. And like, Ness's shit, like, moves on shield are very safe. And if he pick his fires in your face, okay, obviously you can hit him for it. But like, if he nairs, if he like fairs, maybe like fair cross up, you can probably hit him. Like, if he retreating fairs, you can't hit him. But like nair, even like nair on shield's really safe, back air on shield's really safe, up air on shield's really safe. Like, there's so many things, and sometimes you just have to go for the mix up afterwards, or you have to position, like, punish what you're gonna, like, move yourself away to punish what he's gonna do afterwards.
When edge guarding Falcon, make sure to abuse rock rocking on his up B. This involves
if people don't know what rock rocking is, it's basically a Falcon thing. You can do it with Ganon as well, like when you're versing Ganon as well. But basically, you purposely get hit by the up B, you take it, and if he doesn't, and like say if he doesn't have a double jump, you hit him for it. And basically now he's out of his double jump, and now you can hit him, and now he's probably dead.
Intentionally getting hit by the up B,
taking
the wall and wall jumping, then hitting him with an aerial afterwards. This can allow for practically guaranteed edge guards at times. And it's so good against the character that Falcon players are asking for it to be removed from the game due to it being unfair. Whether it's
unfair, he says. Just tech.
Try not to spam jump out of his combos, since many of them are barely not true enough to catch your jump, and you want to make sure you save that in case you get sent off stage. Jiggly.
Okay, good. Yeah, that's the one thing I've realized. Jumping out of Falcon combos is really, really bad. Because, like you said, like, they're barely not true enough, but they are like if you lose your jump within a falcon combo, it's basically you only have two options now. You either have air dodge or you either have drift or like do nothing. And if you air dodge, it can be so like sometimes he can do a move, miss, and frame trap you and hit you again. Anti-airing out of shield against Puff especially is very, very good. I mean air to airing. Because sometimes, because she's so light, if you trade with Puff, it's usually in your favor regardless. Unless you're like Fox or something like that.
Her only really solid tools for getting out of disadvantage are her jumps and air mobility. Be very careful when using your...
That's the thing that people don't realize. Puff will, a lot of the time, he might touch on it in the next thing. But basically, if you're a Puff player, you should be retreating to ledge. You should almost never be trying to be like, I'm going to float back down to stage. Why? What purpose is that? Like maybe if there's platforms that might help, but apart from that, like a lot of characters just have juggle tools that beat your landing. So you just go to ledge. If you go to ledge, you get the mix up of like doing jump ledge nair, jump ledge fair bear, what's it called, pound, rolling, jumping, ledge drop, stalling, going under the stage. Well, he did say dare. There was dare, but dare. The other thing I'll say, yeah, dare loops with Puff is a thing. If you don't know how to SDI them, it's like it's depending on your character and depending on your like how fast you fall. Because then sometimes you can like shield it in time.
Because of her great air acceleration, Peach can weave around you to bait an anti-air and punish with a landing aerial, often leading to a huge combo. So the key is to recognize the difference between her trying to bait an anti-air option and her trying to simply approach from the air, then only hit her when she's doing the latter. Turnips are another big part of Peach's game.
Okay, this is the other thing with Peach. Is like, yes, she's got good like air drift and stuff with the float and stuff, but the other thing is you can technically swat her. If you have some decent range, you can swat her out of the air before she throws out a hitbox. When she's in front, when she's facing forward, you can swat her out of the air very well. If she's facing behind, then it's a bit harder because the back is so quick. Obviously nair the two, but it hits like it doesn't have not a lot of range, and it just hits around her waist and like it hits around her basically, but it doesn't have a lot of range. So basically, if she's facing forward when she's floating at you, like she can try and float to try and bait out and like forward at you and fade back. But a lot of the time, you see her jump or float. You can, and she's facing forward, you can just hit her straight up, like anti-airing her, I'd say. Anti-airing her might be a bit harder, because you can't really drift in and out, but going for an air, which is like, you know, throwing out your aerial to try and stuff them out. Whether it be trying to do it safely or aggressively, either couldn't do it.
Up close, in which case spot dodge will allow you to get a punish on his side B, and shielding nair should allow for a punish as well, considering it's -12. The only aerials Bowser has that are safe on shield, by the way, are Spaced Fair and Flame Breath, which I guess isn't an aerial, but you get the idea. When landing on Bowser's shield, do your best to land with something that's -5 or lower, as up B is a very
-5, oh man, the privilege of if you have -5 or lower.
Bowser's also like to side B against people who shield on platforms, so be cautious of that and don't block too long on them. Once you get...
Okay, he said like there's that mix up obviously with the side B, but there's also the mix up of if there's a way to do if he jumps onto this platform, if he spaces it correctly onto the platform, if he does the down B, sometimes you can't even like you won't be able to drop it will like keep you in shield stun. So if he does like jump down B very close before he hits the platform, it breaks your shield, and like it's so stupid. But like that's the other thing, so just like don't shield on platforms and stuff like that. You can probably shield up here, which is a bit safer, but like on this platform is very, very dangerous. Because like when he does it from here, it's a bit more reactable to like, oh, if he does down B, it's from here. But he has to double jump down B rather than like double jump side B is a bit harder to react to.
The Ice Climbers don't have the best out of shield options besides up smash, which is still a bit slow.
Okay.
So you can shield pressure.
This is the one thing Blizzwall. I think he's gonna touch on it surely, but basically with Ices, he's like, oh, they don't have good out of shield. I think the best is nair and up smash, but the thing with Ices is just like they're very content on shielding. So because if they're shielding, a lot of time your move is more negative because it hits another shield, and that means you're in the air for longer. And that means they usually, one of the climbers can punish you for it. The punishes off parry are very strong. Yeah, and because it's easier, because Nana can, like, if you, as the main climber, as Popo, screw it up, Nana will most likely get the parry, and Nana will punish them regardless. Like, it's pretty stupid.
If you grab Popo, repeatedly pummel him, and Nana will remain in a helpless state.
Okay, don't do that. Don't do that. I knew it was gonna come to it. This thing, especially with pummeling ICs, unless they're inside the hitbox, like here, you don't like ever pummel ICs basically. Or you go for the moves or your throws that have throw armor. Yeah. Or you have moves that have hitboxes. That's like a very big thing too. Like say if you're like Mario, you just back throw. You do that, or you use moves that have like hitboxes or throw armors, because they like, he's like, you know how you saw the Nana in the helpless state, the Popo in the helpless, well, getting grabbed, and Nana was like, oh no, if they've desynced them properly, they can still hit you. Like it's invalid. It doesn't matter.
Don't get predictable with how you use projectiles against Sheik, as Needles can do a great job at stuffing that out. Also, don't try to edgeguard.
Okay. Well, the one thing he didn't say, Needles are also transcendent. So people don't know what transcendent means. It basically means it will go through. It basically has its own property where it will just go through anything. Well, in this game, that's what transcendent means. But basically, it will go through all projectiles. It won't clank with them. So even one needle is good enough to like push you, like basically to deter you from like charging projectiles or like trying to run away and stuff like that. It's kind of like Joker Gunner, I would say, or like Wolf Laser is another good example. Diddy Banana is transcendent as well. Don't know why a fruit off a tree is transcendent. Like, come on. Like, did he really need that? The thing he didn't talk about with Sheik is there's also Needles up smash. There's also like what was it called? There's like range. You can still range drop and stuff like that onto platforms. So like how what's it called? How Joker does it, which is like you can do like F tilt, up air drag down onto the platform to up smash and stuff like that. Even like up air drag down to forward smash, down smash at certain percentages. There's also like, I think there's a confirm where it's like you do Needles off ledge into up smash, which I don't know why that's a thing, but that kills early. And there's also tipper down tilt to up smash as well, which has stayed in since that was a thing in Smash 4. It's a little harder to do in this game, I feel like. I don't know why, it just feels harder, but it's still a thing.
Now, if you camp against Phantom, Zelda actually can't do anything against it since she's so slow. So if you have the option to camp back against her, say you have a lead, it's honestly super...
Okay, this is one thing I've realized when people think what camping is. Camping doesn't just mean throwing projectiles and hitting them away and keeping your distance. Camping also means, like, pushing distance away without needing to, like, the definition of camping technically is forcing space between you and your opponent without being too committal. And basically with this is Palutena has the speed technically to just maneuver around Phantom. Obviously she has a reflected too, but maybe on like, not on FD, but like on other stages she has a mobility to maneuver around it. She can, because Zelda's so slow she can't catch up, and then like, and if she needs it she can beam. But like, even if you're like a character like, he's like a decently, I can't say a decently fast character, but if you're like a character like Roy, right? You know, when you're normally meant to be running in a lot and stuff like that, you had the mobility to go and just like, I don't want to interact with you. I'll just shield Phantom across the stage, and now you have to run at me to try even force pressure. And then like, even if you say, go to the other side of the stage, oh crap, now Knight's coming or whatever, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna jump. And then now Zelda has to jump towards you, and you're like, oh wow, that's very telegraphed, and you just fast forward to ledge. Like, I don't know, Zelda just feels...
You just need to make sure
offline is just
cornering and pressure. Thus, a lot of strategies such as spacing him out and watching for up smash that work against Mario apply when fighting Doc as well. There are a few key differences to look out for, however. For one, his pill combos into stuff at any percent, so expect a lot of those in neutral. His grab is also good across most percents, as he can get solid combos off down throw and kill with one of the strongest back throws in the game. Also, his up B out of shield is one of the best in the game, since it's frame 3 and can kill way early. So
okay, so wait, hon.
Be mindful of that and use caution when landing on him. He also might try to gimmick you by the ledge.
Yeah, the good thing is with Dr. Mario, it's like, because you know he's going to pill a lot, what you're not wanting to do is shield. Because he usually has enough time to run at you and to grab you. And it's just better to meet him halfway, meet him in the air when you know he's going to pill, and just hit him for it. There's also a thing of, if you're fast enough, you can run under. If you know they're going to pill, you can just run under them and hit them, because there's obviously the end lag from doing the pill.
Look for combo starters at low percents, so you'll want to mix up how you avoid the move. Camping Pichu, however, can be an effective strategy against him specifically, considering how he hurts himself if he tries to camp back with T-jolts, putting him closer to death than you might think due to his weight. Don't do this too much though, as you might just constantly corner yourself and it won't be any fun. Another Pichu specific thing—
I like how he missed the combo. He did a double up air and he just didn't. He's like, let's go for the third one, and I'm like, oh, I thought he was gonna go up air by Thunder, but that just didn't happen. Yeah. Okay, the thing also, I would say, the stage is basically the same with Pikachu, I think, as well. But the thing with Pichu also is that you have to be very careful with, Pichu's actually got a lot more, like, I say explosive kill setups, or like weird things that just randomly kill you. So like, I think with Pichu, it's like, he's got like the weird like up air strings to Thunder. He's got a lot more. And the thing is with Thunder, he didn't mention it, is that Thunder always sends forward. So if you ever get caught by Thunder, you're basically cucked off stage. Rather with Pikachu, if you DI it properly, which I should have said in the Pikachu one, but basically with Pikachu, if you do get hit by Thunder, it's you, like say if you got up thrown or down thrown, you DI, you DI to the side you want to get hit on. So if you're facing if he's facing right, and you get hit by Thunder, you want to DI, say obviously you're on this side, right? You want to DI left back onto stage, and then as soon as you do, obviously you DI back right so you don't explode to Thunder.
One way he might try to set up these combo starters will be with aerials, which actually aren't that safe on shield, as you can see here.
What?
To set up these combo starters will be with aerials, which actually aren't that safe on shield, as you can see here.
Okay. The thing is with, the aerials, he's like not that safe. Having a -6, -7 is very good. -5 on shield up air, damn. Back air is -8, neutral is for -7, -6. I don't know how that works. -10, like that's pretty safe if you think about it. It's not the safest, but it's not like a youngling. But like that's very, very safe. Like holy crap.
Either of these characters' aerials for whatever reason, you'll probably want to resort to catching their jumps and movement instead. Additionally, backing
it's better for Marcena. It is just better to air them. They're playing rogue basically, but basically, I would say against Marcena, it's just better to try and air them, because like you said that you need to try and meet them halfway, because if they are spacing very well, and they're keeping their bubble, like they're making that bubble around them very solidified and like unbreakable, then it's just like I have to meet them before they even start making that bubble. That's basically how it works.
Common mix-up you'll see from a lot of Marcenas is conditioning you to think they'll land with a fair or whatever, then go for a neutral B shield breaker instead. If you
not at this, if you deserve this. If Marcena does a full hop,
you can react and spot dodge, roll.
Yeah, if you see a Marcena do full hop charge shield breaker, you deserve to get shield broken, no matter the reason.
Take up B, which looks like you should be able to punish with something like a drop shield F smash, but it's actually only -17, meaning something like that won't work for most characters. Try to only punish his moves with quick attacks and don't get too greedy.
I think also the other thing with Yink up B is that he pulls in his hurt box after he does it, and you get pushed away because of the multi-hits, so you're a lot further away than you think, so usually shield grab doesn't work.
Off stage, Ganon can struggle. There is his rising up air to look out for, as it's a fantastic get off me tool, but other than that, his recovery is super linear. The Ganon Discord told me that if I don't mention rock crocking, then I'm a fraud, so let's make sure I get that out of the way. Rock croc against Ganon. Okay, there you go. Always make sure you're pressuring Mewtwo, whether you're fighting him from close or long range, so he doesn't just get Shadow Balls for free. Mewtwo does not like it when you either camp him with a lead or fight him from super close up. He operates best at mid-range, so if you can, get in his face and abuse his bad frame data at close quarters, then start to camp when you're winning. Mewtwo's disadvantage is awful.
Okay, he didn't say it, but basically, it's not as good as it was in Smash 4, but basically down tilt is still very good at poking. I don't know how well it combos in this game. It can still combo at certain ranges, but down tilt's very good just to like get them into a position where you're threatening anything. One thing also he didn't mention is disable, which disable's very, very good. I can't say very, very good, but it's good in terms of Mewtwo's kill power is actually very, very good with down smash, up smash, forward smash sweet spot's very good as well. But there's also like disable has a bit of an invincibility. It's one of them. I think it's invulnerability. But basically, his whole body becomes invincible basically, and for a certain amount of frames, and it only works when you're facing him, right? Like your eyes have to be connected to him. I think it doesn't even work on Pikachu for some stupid reason, because obviously he's short. But basically Mewtwo's like, that's something people need to look out for. Obviously Confusion also works as a command grab. It's not the strongest, but it can sometimes follow up into like forward air at certain percents. I'm not too sure, because I'm not a Mewtwo main, but I say it, I do it. So yeah, it was also at low percent you can Shadow Ball into combos and stuff, into grab, into dash attack, into forward air. He missed a lot on Mewtwo, unfortunately, which is a bit sad, because he kind of just talked about how to just camp him and like what ranges to play at, which is good. Obviously the ranges to play is very good.
This is their favorite way to approach, as it's pretty safe and can lead to some good 40-ish% combos. However, because of how fast their air acceleration is, they have to commit every time they go for this option. So it's impossible to get faked out, and it'll be pretty obvious when they go for it. If you manage to shield the Nair, it's -5 or 6, so a decent amount of characters can punish the option with something fast that isn't grab. If you can't, however, and this is 100% me speaking from personal experience, so your results may vary, I found that many low to mid-level Krois will either spot dodge or jab right after the Nair, both of which are punishable at point blank. Again,
but basically it means if you ninja shield and you don't have an option that's -5 or 6, you have to try and punish whatever comes afterwards. That's basically what he's saying. Which is, I don't think saying like, oh, this is the usual go-to options, but saying what options there are is what you should be saying. It's just as advice, but I know that is the low and mid-level option. 2 spot dodge, 2 jab, probably to down tilt is the other one, because down tilt will push them away. Even some people also double edge dance as well to try and catch spot dodges, and some of them also just dash back to try and bait out your grab or whatever it is.
Because of Chrome's subpar recovery, he's going to use a lot of air dodge to the ledge, so try to beat that out with a long-lasting hitbox if possible. To edgeguard Chrome's up B without a counter, you can use a strong projectile, hit him above his up B, or go behind him and use an attack. Holding shield at the edge just lets him get back for free though, so don't ever expect...
Okay, the other thing with Chrome up B also is that sometimes if your F smash is big enough or your moves are big enough, you can actually hit him out of the up B at the top.
Space outside its range. Good spacing doesn't just mean hitting with the tip of your move, although that is important. It also means making sure your aerial drift is moving away from Game & Watch. Additionally, you need to make sure your vertical spacing is good, as landing too high on his shield can turn your move from -3 to something higher, which is the difference between getting and not getting up B.
Yeah, that is a big thing with just Smash in general. There's a lot of people that are like, oh, like I hit your shield, I should be minus blah. Or like it should be this safe, but if you're not spacing it, like the thing on Ultimate Frame Data is the number is there at basically almost the lowest as possible, right? So if you're hitting the tip of their shield, then they're like, there's still this amount of time, this amount of frames to get to the ground, and that gives them this person enough time to react and do something. Okay, he missed something about up A. So basically. Online you can't really do this, but offline what you can do is if you see him hit your shield, he has a certain amount of time after he up A's when he can't do anything. So if you predict what side he's hit your shield on, you can basically air to air him with an up air. If your up air is obviously fast enough. If you have like a separate up air, you can't do it. But like say if you're and if you have a good decent jump as well. So if I'm like Falco, oh that's a bad example. If I'm like Lucina, I can, if he up airs my shield, I can double jump up air and hit him for it. Or if I'm, even if I'm like Donkey Kong, if he up airs my shield, I can jump and double jump up air and hit him. Like things like that. And obviously because he's super light, if he does it at a percent, it's like 80 or 90%, he could just die for doing an up air at a shield. Okay, wait, the one thing he didn't say about Game & Watch as well is that the key isn't just used for landing, it's also very good for ledge guarding. And it's basically because one is a disjoint, and that means it's very hard to contest it. That's why a lot of moves just don't beat it, right? But 2, the second thing about it is that it's weirdly strong, and if you get hit by it, there's a lot of times, I think if you get hit by around 100%, 90%, it becomes untakeable, and you just die, because it will send you into the stage, and you'll kaputs.